Catherine's Garden of LWS 2019 Year-End Review, my urban cottage garden. Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden. It's so good to be here with you for the last day of the year. I'm in the city. Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden. Well, it's another day in the month of July, and this happens to be the middle of July. And when I look at the garden, there's always something new that has to be done. There's always changes to be made, and the garden is continually or constantly revolving. No pun intended, constant, which is my last name. But it's beautiful because I think I would get bored if the garden didn't continually change. And right now it is raining outside, so things are falling over and I'm going to have to probably prop some stuff up. But looking at the garden right now, just a couple of weeks ago, it was full of the color of the daylily, what I call ditch lily, that orangey color. But now those lilies have passed, and now I have the calm appearance of these beautiful Casablanca lilies. And other white oriental lilies. That are just adding such beautiful height and elegance to the garden. Also with this, I can see too that they're coming in at this particular time because of the heat, and they're adding such an aroma to the garden. Now looking back over in this corner of the garden, you can see that the hosta flowers are now bent over, and just as I said a week ago, they were up and they were just showing off, and I said that they were almost like in hosta. It was like creating a hosta pavilion where you'd walk and you'd be surrounded by the beauty of the hostas and the hosta flowers. But now they are laden down by the rain. They're not as upright, but yet it's adding color to the leaves there, and it's really very, very pretty, at least to me. Let me zero in so that you can see what I'm talking about. But soon they're going to start to fade, the flower of the hosta, and I'm going to have to trim them down so that it can look neat and tidy over in that corner. But in the meantime, that kind of light lilac purple is just very pretty. Now right here I also have lilies, oriental lilies that are going to open up. I don't know the specific name of them. I think it's like the Casablanca lily, but it's not. It's just a little bit bigger. The blooms tend to be a little bit bigger and a little more free. But I'm looking forward to them opening up. Good morning and welcome to Catherine's Garden. It's so good to be here with you today. And today I'm just chilling a little bit this morning in the garden and just looking over it, surveying the beautiful day. It's so beautiful in the garden. Things are coming and things are going. And for this morning, the lilies, my Casablanca lilies, they're pretty much done. Yes. That's not the Casablanca, but that lily, that oriental lily has had its show in the garden, and now it's faded. And then over here, this is the Casablanca lily. And it's reached the top, it's reached its peak, and it's about to fade out of the garden. But instead, I don't know if you see those yellow flowers over there. Excuse the branch. We're working on that. But here, do you see those yellow flowers? Yeah, here. And then I have some over on the other side of the garden. There, let me just carry it slowly there so that you don't get dizzy. Yeah, but you get to survey the beautiful space. But over here, these yellow flowers are taking their time. They're standing out. This is their time in the garden. And they're starting to open up, and they're going to fill that whole space. I also have some over here, a little piece here. Yeah, and so they're going to fill out the garden and add some color to the garden. And then over here in the bed, I don't know if you can see that, back there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Right where the bee balm was, yeah, the bee balm, I clipped it down so that they can have a second flush, hopefully, of red bee balm. But then also I have the yellow flowers near it. So that whole area there will have the yellow flowers, which I believe will draw in the bees and the butterflies and whatever else that needs to receive it. I'm going to go down in the garden so that you get to really see it close, but that's what it looks like. Yeah. So that's one of the things that we have to do when we are planting our gardens, is to make sure that we have what is called a succession of bloom, that for each season and time within the season, that we have different plants coming in and different plants going out. And so this morning the dahlias are looking really, really pretty also. And so that's what's coming in. I'm very happy about that as I contemplate the garden with my coffee. Yeah. I had a really great time walking around the garden and harvesting these wonderful vegetables. Come with me as I take you with me to see and to explore all of the bounty. It was so much fun. I just enjoyed myself immensely, and I am so grateful. Amongst the bindweed, tucked in, all of these beautiful tomatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and harvest those tomatoes, and we can talk about it later, right? So follow me as I do it. I have my trusty basket here, and I'm going to move it closer so that they will land in the basket. Yes, as I gently put them in there. So now I have two things in my hand. Let's see. I'm going to tuck it right underneath it so it can fall in the basket. Let's see if this works. Ooh! It did work. Let's try this. This one should be a little bit easier because it's up here so that you can see me harvesting. It's beautiful, beautiful tomato. Now, isn't that a good one? Beefsteak style. Gently put that in there. Alright, so let's get the rest of them. Yes, you're going to see me do the whole thing. So, let's see if I can tuck it under here and pull it right here. What are you getting, my arm? So you see that tomato on the vine? Let me cut some of these other things away that you can see. It's amazing how the bindweed just is so evasive, and it just seems to just take over a plant. But you know what? I can't even be mad with it because it really has helped to protect and keep my plants. Now this is green, but that's okay because what I'm going to do with it is sit it aside and let it defrost. Not defrost. Set it aside and let it ripen. That's what I mean to say. See? Here we go. Oop, I thought I lost it. No, but it's still on the vine, see? Beautiful. And then there's another ripe one way over here. Let's see if we can just pull it off the vine. Oh, it came off real nice and easy. This is a perfect tomato. Perfect. And I think I see another red one over here. See it tucked in there? Yeah. That's what I'm going for. So let's reach in and twist it without disturbing, hopefully, the other one. Good job, if I say so myself. Look at that. Beautiful tomato. Wow. And here's another one over here. Oh, that's so pretty. You see that? What a pretty tomato. Let's see if we can move some of this vine weed. Oh man. I feel like I'm on a scavenger hunt. Yeah, for the best tomatoes in the world. This is so good. Look at that. Wow, that is so nice. See if you see any more. I don't really see any more hidden in amongst these plants. Well, I don't really see any more. I don't really see any more in amongst the plants here, but I'm excited to have the harvest that I do have. Let me see if I can get out of here. Wow. So there are a lot of green ones still. So I can come back and try and harvest some more when they're ready. Now these are my eggplants, and I don't think they're getting enough sun, but who knows, they might still decide to produce. I've been stepping on this mint and it's just been spreading. It smells so good, but there are plenty of more tomatoes left on this plant, and I actually harvested some first, and I'll show you those. But there's still plenty, as I said, here in this. So with my basket, since I'm out here and I'm harvesting, I might as well go ahead to the front and see what we can get. You ready to go? Let's check out the front garden to see what we can find in terms of peppers. All right, I see a tomato here in the front garden, so we're gonna go and get this tomato and also that eggplant. Over here I have these peppers, so I'm gonna just pull them off and harvest them. Just bring this a little closer. Look at that. Okay. Look at this one. This is a good size. That came off real easy. I think that one was ready to pick. I see a few tomatoes here that I'm going to pick. And my plums are doing great. I feel like picking one of them. I feel like picking my plums. Ooh, something helped me eat one. It must be close to ripe. It's still green. They're almost there. I am going to pick this plum because it feels ready. Feels very ripe. And do you see how easily it came out? And something was already eating it, but maybe I can cut around it. Let's check out the other one too and see how that one's doing. Both of them are juicy, but we're going to cut it open and see what we get. Maybe we could sample a little of it. But this is my harvest basket for today, for now. The mosquitoes are out, so let's move quickly so that they don't just eat us up too. But what a really great harvest, don't you think? Well, I just finished picking the plum from the plum tree, the yellow golden one. And so now I'm going to sample it in front of you. Here it is. You ready? Oh my goodness. This is delicious. It's so sweet. Yum, yum. You can see the seed. See the seed? Mm. Mm. That was delicious. I can't wait for the rest of them for next year. Look at that. Beautiful. It was a good investment and it was a great weight. It's so sweet. Oh my goodness. It's really good. Look at the harvest. It's so beautiful. I'm just so excited. Now the green tomatoes, we will let them ripen on the counter, but what a bounty. I am not disappointed. Yes, the wait was worth it. My urban cottage garden. Look at this. Look at this. I planted the butternut squash in the corner, and look at how it's just trailing here. This is my third year in planting butternut squash in the garden. This year I didn't plant as many squash as I did last year. Last year I went crazy and I planted butternut squash and pumpkins all over the garden, and they just trailed all over the grass and just had a good old time in my garden. I especially love the leaves of the butternut squash, and I love how they just fill up a certain area in the front and just give that sense of abundance. And I love the fruit. My family, they love butternut squash. And then of course the flowers, the beautiful bright yellow flowers, it just fills the place. Now look at this. This squash has found itself in the wall. Last year, the squash just filled the whole backside of the garden. And then it was even traveling up on the wall in the front, like it's doing this year. And last year, my bowls were overflowing with squash. I had butternut squash. And pumpkins, and I just started to just give them away. This beautiful morning of September, a brand new month, hallelujah, I have been harvesting a lot of these butternut squash, and I have quite a few here. I've been giving them away, but this is what I harvested on yesterday. 8 beautiful squash. And then I still have these here. And I really think that this is such a time for giving. This is such a time for spreading the goodness to others so that they can be blessed as well. And I'm very grateful to God for this opportunity to have this ability to give, and to give of my labor. There's this song that says, your labor is not in vain. Your labor is not in vain. And I'm glad that my labor has not been in vain, that I have been successful in gathering these squash. So far for this year, 2019, we harvested 4 squash, and they have been very tasty. I've also harvested some of these acorn squash too. This is the butternut squash that my husband picked yesterday from the garden. So I just wanted you to see what it looks like. And these are the tomatoes that I also harvested from the vegetable patch. This butternut squash, let me hold it up for you. It's huge. It was growing over there by the front garden, you know, where I was showing you all of those beautiful big leaves. And he likes it like this. I mean, he would eat it when it's a lot more ripened, but there's something very tender about it, like this. And he's excited to put it in his food with his stew and fish, and we're going to be enjoying this for a couple of days. Now this looks like to me a real cottage-like garden. My urban cottage garden. Look at this. Look at this. I planted the butternut squash in the corner, and look at how it's just trailing here. And I still have peppers that I need to harvest. I didn't harvest all of them because some of them I thought could grow in. Now I don't know what this plant is, but it is beautiful. Check out the stems. And it's a very weedy-like plant, but right now it's just so pretty. You know, a weed is a weed if you consider it a weed. Look at this, my kale. And then, look at how this is just trailing. I love this color. It's taken over this whole corner, this nasturtium. I really like it. Soon I'll have to dig it up and remove it from here, but for right now, I just have allowed it to do its own thing. Let's check on this okra. Wow, look at that. I really have to start earlier with the okra. The echinacea, they're going to seed too. I want them to. I want the echinacea to go to seed so that I can have more plants next year. I want them to self-seed. I want everything to self-seed, and then I'll have the choice of whether I want to pull them up or not. But look at this. So the garden is really in those jewel tone colors of maroon. Yeah. And the thing is that these zinnias, look at that. The zinnias emphasize this jewel tone appearance. Check out these beautiful zinnias. They are the stars. They are the stars of the garden right now. Look at that. This front garden. This is my cottage garden feel. And they're going to seed, but I still love it. Oh, and the bee balm. You know, when you allow things to go to seed, you have instant plants. And what happens is that you can then take the plants, little seedlings, and put them in other parts of the garden without having to do too much work. Of course, you have to dig it up and move it, but that's not hard to do. And it's for free. Let me see if I can find my, oh, I still see my cantaloupe in there. But look at this. What an amazing situation here. Some things you don't want too much of, because like this is going to seed all over the place. I'm going to have my hands cut out to, I'm going to have my work cut out to keep up with them. But it's still beautiful. And soon I will have to harvest leafy squash, the butternuts, and there's a huge one in there. I'm sure there are quite a few, but I love this. Look at the deep colors of the hydrangea with the purple perilla. You can really see it there. And even here and there. It's like snapshots of beauty. I'm just so impressed with this. It's nice. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. Let's go in here a little bit and see what we have. This is like zinnia joy. I know I don't have a lot, but what I do have is just so beautiful. And just from a pack of seeds that cost less than $1, I was able to get this joy. Now, isn't that fabulous? This is my basil. It's overgrown and going to seed, but still so pretty. And also the marigold. Nice. It is a cool morning, but it's a fresh and brisk day. And I just wanted to show you some things and just let us just kind of camp out a little bit here for the moment and enjoy the arrangement here, this new arrangement here on the deck. I went out and I got some new things to add to the deck. I don't know if you know this, but I'm going to let you know that one of my favorite plants for fall are chrysanthemums. I just like them. I use them as an annual so that I would end up buying fresh chrysanthemums to add to the garden. They also call them garden mums. And I use them in decoration, but I also use them in the garden. I plant them directly into the garden. But right now, I kind of changed my coloring a little bit. I picked up this beautiful watering can to add to my garden here and to water these plants with, because my old watering can, which is a little bit bigger, but it's a mess. It's leaking. So I was glad to pick up this new watering can here. And then I also got a new owl. I wanted to buy another owl last year, but I hesitated, and I'm glad I did. But now Mr. Owl has a companion. Yes, Mrs. Owl is with him. And they're looking so cute together. And I like them with the smaller chrysanthemums. And I like the fact that the colors that are in the cushions, they correspond really well with the plantings here and make the deck look very attractive. And you know what? Because the deck is looking so attractive and just bright and inviting, I've been coming out and reading in the evenings when it's cool and just chilling, watching my YouTube videos, watching you all of my other people that I've subscribed to. I watch your channels on YouTube here on the deck, and trying to enjoy it as much as possible, because soon the weather will be changing and we will not be able to come out as frequently. I moved the begonias over here because I figured that they'd be a little bit more protected. And it is working. Look at that. They're still here with my marigold, coleus, sun patience, and the chrysanthemums, and also the hot pepper, Jamaican pepper plant. Look what I have discovered, that my cucumber plant has actually flowered. Yes, right here. Hello, and welcome to Catherine's Garden. It's so good to be with you here today. Today is October 8th. And a couple of days back, I was complaining about the temperature and the fact that the frost, it seemed like we were going to have an early frost season. And yes, we experienced some cold nights there in the 40s and heading almost to the 30s, 39, 38. And I was afraid that my begonias, my tuberous begonias, were not going to make it, and neither was my angel trumpet trees. I didn't think they were going to make it either. But both of them, both plants, they did survive the cold, and now I'm just hoping that I can hold on to them for just a little while longer in the garden. However, I want to show you something. I want to show you my okra. I had purchased some okra seeds from Baker's Creek catalog. and the burgundy seed, and I got actually some flowers, some of the plants coming forth. And it's just really great to see this, because here in my northeast garden, zone 6, I didn't think I could plant okra. But now that I know that it's possible, I know I'm going to do better with it next year. But I want you to see my process and see what I did. And also, I had gotten some seedlings from a lady gardener that usually gives us our starts. And I had planted that, but they kept on dying out and withering. But what I see is that directly sowing the okra seeds in the ground here actually is the best thing to do, and that if you give them the right location, if you give them the right soil, that the seed will germinate and that it will come forth. So let's take a look at that, and I'm going to give you a little recap of my experience with okra and planting okra seeds in the ground. Well, I was fortunate to be able to get some seeds from Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds Catalog, our 22nd annual Pure Seed book. After discovering that my seeds or seedlings that I had purchased from my person who does the seed starts, it looks like this. It was like something like this, and I planted them in the ground, and the plants just withered away and died. So I'm so glad that I had my Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds catalog, because I really want to try growing okra here. And I ordered online from them after looking at this catalog. And it came in a couple of days ago, the seeds in the packet. And I also got some other seeds as well, another okra. But this is the one that I'm going to be planting today. It says to soak them for the seeds for 24 hours. So that's what the seeds look like. My plan is to plant some direct sowing in the ground, by directly sowing them in the ground, and then also to put some in these containers using my potting mix from the Dollar Tree store, and just put it in there, and then create the greenhouse effect. Let me show you. By putting it in this container, it's just my salad, baby spinach container. Just put it in here and let it stay in the sun. I'm going to probably put it in the sun or a sunny area so that the seeds can germinate. And also put some in the ground and cover with some plastic like that, and see what we get. And then I'm going to put these in the ground too. We'll put them back in the little greenhouse that I have, plastic greenhouse. But they do look kind of spindly. Well, I'm going to try 3 different ways to grow these okra seeds and to get some okra plants. Alright, so let's get started. Now right now, even in Boston and here in June, the temperature at nights are like in the low 50s. And during the day, we've been getting like 70. I think today it may be 80 today, but it's still kind of cool. And it said that okra likes hot temperatures and dry temperatures, and we've been getting a lot of rain. So that could be why those seedlings didn't do well. So we're going to try and create some favorable conditions for these okra seeds, and also for the seedlings that I have over there. So let me stop talking and get busy. All right, so hang out with me as we do some planting. Okay, so let's take a look at this package and see what it has to say and what we need to do. It says okra, burgundy, Baker Creek heirloom seeds. Then on the back it says burgundy okra, 1983 AAS winner. Pods are beautiful, deep red. Stems are also red, very tender and delicious, ornamental tasting. Planting instructions: soak seeds for 24 hours. Direct seed after last spring frost. Pick pods while young and tender. Loves heat and humid or dry conditions. More details at rareseeds.com. And then on the side it gives some more information. It says sprouts in 7 to 14 days. Ideal temp 75 to 90. And right now, in the evenings or nights, it's like in the 50s here. And we're just barely hitting 70, 73 during the day. So I'm going to have to give them a little more TLC and put it in my little greenhouse or covered or create some sort of condition in which it can get some more heat. Seed depth 1/2 to 1 inch. Plant spacing 18 inches apart. Frost hardy, no. Min full sun 8 to 12 hours. That means that I'm going to have to put it definitely in the front garden where there is more sun. So it's good to see that information there so that we'll have more success this time with the seeds. All right. So I have finished the process and they are here in this makeshift like greenhouse for them to get started. I think this works out so good. When I discovered that I could do this, just makes it easier with seed starting. But actually recycling these containers is the way to go. At one point I was just putting the dirt in the plastic container, the big container, and then dropping the seeds, but it makes it harder for transplanting. So this should make it much more easier. All right, so let's find a sunny spot for it. I just wanted to show you what I did with this okra. So I put the okra in a little container like I told you I would do to create a greenhouse effect. And also I planted the other ones over here too. You can see that. And then I planted one here. I put the ones that I seeded, the burgundy over here, and that's my watermelon plant. It's growing so well under cover that I had to get something bigger to keep it covered and getting the heat that it loves, but also keeping in the moisture. So that's that. But this is the front bed, the sunny bed, and I believe that the okra is going to do well here in this sunny bed. So far things are looking pretty good. I love how these violas are just shimmering in the sun. Oh, there's one last thing I want to show you also, and that is this peony, how it's opened up. If you didn't see it before, take a look at the peony. That's how it looks filled out when it's completely bloomed. I will keep you informed as to how the seedlings are doing, and then we're going to plant them in the ground next to the others, and we're going to hope for the best. Hopefully we will have okra this year. Directly sowing the okra seeds in the ground here actually is the best thing to do, and that if you give them the right location, if you give them the right soil, that the seed will germinate and that it will come forth. So let's take a look at that. So I planted here this okra, and look at that. I actually have okra here. I think what I'm going to do is let it go to seed, and then next year plant the seeds out. Now this is my purple perella, and it's about to seed all over the place. But that's okay. But this is what I wanted you to see, and look how pretty this is. I love the burgundy color of this burgundy okra, and it was, as I said, direct sown here. I just decided to throw the seeds there, and the plant came up, which is really nice. Now I also have a different okra over here. And it's starting to come up here. It didn't fare as well on this side. I think it will do better over there. And I think I'm going to provide like a hedge for it. Here's one. As you can see, I have a lot of work to do and clean up. This is, oh, here's one here. You see that? That's the okra plant. And then I have here this basil. Oh, it's going to seed. It smells so good. But this is what I want to do, is to possibly use even this same area here for the okra so that it can grow and have more space. And my zinnias are still doing well. Now these are direct sown zinnias. And here's a quick look at the garden. It's looking rough, beat up, but still good. As I said before, I thought that I would have a lot of dieback. I did with these, look at the leaves and the colors of the leaves. I had a lot of dieback with the purple perella. They couldn't stand the cold, and then the leaves were changing color. But even still, their stems are so pretty. And then we have the hydrangea tree. Check these leaves out. Isn't that a rich color? That's why it was so hard for me to even think about pulling out this particular plant. And I don't know what it is, but you see all these seeds? But check out this color. I love this. It really does give great fall color, and even though things have died back like this, still the garden is so beautiful with color. It's a different kind of color, and you just have to learn how to appreciate it. Wow, I just found a squash down here. Now what I'm going to have to do is clean all of this out, and then I'm going to put my tulips in here. That's another project. Well, I did go out there and pick another watermelon, and here it is. Yeah, this is it. And I don't know what these markings are, but we're going to have to cut it open and see exactly what's going on with this watermelon. But see the end here? It's pretty much dried out, and has a nice pung, don't you think? It has a nice sound. So I think we are going to probably have a good watermelon to eat. And I just wanted you to see what was happening also with these cucumber plants. Oh my goodness, my cucumber plant is actually flowering. Look at that. It's developing cucumbers. Wow. That is so spectacular. Let's check the other ones, see if they have any fruiting going on here. Not really. But that one, this one over here. Look at that. If you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe to Catherine's Garden as we continue to explore gardening and enjoy the process of learning from the garden, because the garden is a wonderful teacher. She teaches us things, and she just helps us to grow and to be more creative. What I really love about gardening is that one is able to see something in their mind and then to create it and make it come to pass. And I just love that, the creative flow of nature, and allowing me to participate in the process of this experience. And it fills me with a lot of joy. I hope it's filling you with joy too, and that you are feeling my joy. Yes, because I want to share this experience with you. I want us to journey together in gardening. So come back again to Catherine's Garden. Yes, see you next time in Catherine's Garden. Bye. I moved the begonias over here because I figured that they'd be a little bit more protected. And it is working. Look at that. They're still here. with my marigold, coleus, sun patience, and the chrysanthemums, and also the hot pepper, Jamaican pepper plant. I purchased these watermelon seeds from the Dollar Tree store in April, and I planted them out. I started to see some sprouting, and I was so excited about this. I didn't really want to take it outside just yet, so what I did was I brought it outside, let it get some sun, and then brought it back inside. But then I had this little makeshift greenhouse, and I put the watermelon seedlings in there, and they started to thrive. The watermelon seedlings started growing, and I started to see flowers and then fruit. And so now I am just waiting patiently for them to ripen. And I see that the tendrils here are all dried up, and it looks like it may be able to be picked. So I'm going to try this one out because it's the smaller one. I have some others here that are a little bigger, and the ones down here. But I'm going to try this one just as a tester. It's our sacrificial watermelon. So let me he just kind of pressed down on it and broke it that way. Let's see. I'm just going to cut it. It's easier. Alright, so that's what it looks like. Let's take it in and see what we get. So here is the watermelon. It's small. It's a sugar baby. But it has all these markings on it. And I don't know if that's from the concrete or from the something trying to get at it. Today I was able to harvest my cantaloupe. I found it on the ground. I've been watching it, and it seems like it fell off, and it happened to be probably just recently that it fell off, maybe last night or so. So I'm going to cut both of them and see what we get. I think this is so exciting. So here we go. Is the watermelon ripe? That is the question. Is the watermelon ripe? So I am going to cut this watermelon, and we will see what we get. It has a little pong. Not a lot. But as I said, this is a sacrificial one. Alright, so let's cut. Ooh. Kind of cool. Give me a little. It is not ready yet. Let's see. I think I was just a little too anxious, maybe. Well, you could see the seeds forming and everything. Let me just get a little taste of it and see what we get here. It's getting there. It's a little soft in the center here. It's not there yet, but we're getting very close. All right, so let's move that aside and let's try the cantaloupe. All right, so this side here is kind of, this is a little damaged. So what we will do is we'll just cut this off so that you can see. Look at that. Not bad, huh? Oh, it smells so fragrant. Wow. Now that looks like a cantaloupe, doesn't it? Oh, look at these seeds. Beautiful seeds. Okay. And let's de-seed this one too. Okay, I'm going to slice it up and let's see. This side looks really nice. I think this side looks nice because this is the side that was finished here. Looks really good. This is absolutely delicious. Wow. It is so sweet. This is so good. It's so sweet. Wow. I've decided to save the seeds for next year and possibly plant the cantaloupe seeds out in the ground because I know that this one came through for me, and hopefully next year the these seeds will also produce. Well, at least one, and I was able to catch it before the animals do. Yes. Comment below, did you plant watermelon or cantaloupe, and how did it turn out? Were you successful in growing either of them, and what did you do? Last Friday of September, and things are just changing. It rained last night, and it's about noontime now, and so the sun has come out, and the place is just looking so beautiful. As you know, I love it when it rains because the leaves are cleaned and everything just looks fresh and alive. The dirt looks black and just wonderful. Well, these are my cucumbers, and they are still thriving and growing. But what we have to see here is some leaves now. Leaves falling on the ground. Leaves on the deck. That means that things are changing. And some of my trees are changing color. But still, we can enjoy the mild temperatures. And my beets are still doing good. Look at that. And the carrots, they're still doing very, very well. Well, I just wanted to capture what the garden looks like right now. We have started to do some garden cleanup, and it just makes everything look so much better. It gives the place like a facelift. This back bed, my husband cut back the plants in the bed, and so that's going to allow me to do some bulb planting. And I have a bulb update for you. I've actually purchased some new bulbs, and I'm going to show you that soon when we talk about bulb planting, which will be coming very shortly. But things are looking really, really good throughout the garden this morning. Now, there is also something else that is starting to show itself, and that is the plant right here. Let me see if I can zero in on it. Here we go. There you are. Yeah. That's my aster, wild aster. And I know when the wild asters, this particular one, starts to flower, that we are heading deeper into a change in the season, which is fall. The fall season is upon us. So there's so much going on, but the garden just looks so fresh and beautiful. I just had to show you this part at this particular moment. What a beautiful day to be out in the garden. Check out this sparrow. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He's just enjoying the sun and this warm fall day. The sun just beaming down on the garden, it just makes the garden look so special and so spectacular. I really like how we can see the different colors and shades of color in the garden. And it inspires me to want to come on out and just walk around and enjoy the moment. We're now at the end of November. It's November 21st right now. And we're heading into Thanksgiving time and the holiday season. And I just know that this gardening season for 2019 is just about over. However, there's still this excitement because we know we're going into a new season of winter, and with winter comes its glory, especially with the snow. But for right now, this very moment, I'm loving what I see in the garden. It is 12 noon or around 12 noon right now, and so being here in the garden, it just feels so peaceful and quiet and still. The last couple of days it's been raining and very damp, and so you just want to stay inside and cuddle up and relax in the house. But I'm so glad to be able to come out here in the garden, take a look around. And I feel like there is still so much to do in the garden. I feel that I didn't get to tend to the garden the way that I normally do. But then there's a different thinking about the garden lately. It's that to leave the leaves on the beds so that it can act as mulch for the plants, and that the leaves over the winter, that the covering is on the soil, and the leaves being wet and the snow and so forth will act like a tea, you know, like when you make tea, and it will be like a tea for the ground, so that the water, the minerals from the different leaves, from the leaves will go back into the ground. And also the idea of a covering for the ground. So with that in mind, I guess I don't feel so anxious about raking the leaves off the beds. Because we don't want the leaves to mat down the grass. So we have to be diligent in picking that up. But right now, the grass is wet, the leaves are wet, and when the leaves are wet, it just makes raking so much more difficult. So I don't think I'm going to pursue that right now. Overall, though, I'm very pleased with the garden. And even though I may not feel where I need to be as far as cleanup is concerned, I still am in love with how everything looks. But come with me as I go around and take a quick little tour of the garden, see where I'm at. And then I kind of want to compare it to where I was last year, if I'm at the same place or if I'm still on time. If this feeling of not being finished with the garden is a true feeling or if it's in my imagination. The garden is beautiful and calm. And right now, if you look at the garden, you see the colors of green and brown. And it's wonderful because the shades of color is different from the spring and from the summer and even from the fall. The golden color of the leaves on the trees and the rustic hues, along with the beautiful blue skies. All of this helps with the transition, I think. And then still having the presence of the mums and the flowers and the daffodils. It was just a different time, a different season, and a pleasurable time. But now we're headed into something totally new. This transition from fall into winter. And I am just trying to embrace it here in my garden. Fall was so bright and beautiful with the colors of the foliage of the leaves. But now you can see the browns, you can see the dark greens, you can see the fading shades of beige and cream in the garden. And it is beautiful. Even just looking at the sun shining through these leaves of the hydrangea, and then just a while ago this flower was turning blue. But now you can see the tan color of the flower, shades of brown and tan. And then even the leaves here of the hydrangea, which were a deep color of green, is now changing again. It's amazing that this rose bush, the knockout rose bush, still has green leaves that are so alive looking. And beautiful, and yet this other rose bush is not in that same position. I think I'm going to leave the leaves in this bed and just see how they turn out. And then here I have my Dolce Spearmint Heuchera, and this is a lantana. And then of course the rhododendrons are still green. And I think I'm going to get some flowers out of this, at least maybe 2 or 3. And then here I have a Brussels sprout, and it's still green. And it looks like it's doing all right there. And the lawn is looking great too. Well, the leaves are off of the fruit trees. They seem to have handled this pretty well. And that's good. Still got to clean up this area though. That will come. Mr. Bunny, the apple trees. Well, the side garden is looking good, and look what has happened to the zebra grass. Now we get to see what is behind this area. Ooh, the birds are loving. Let's see if I can get them. They're loving the fact that they can hide and eat here. They're very happy with this garden. I saw a little sparrow. Let me see if I can catch him. I am looking forward to spring when I hope that the bulbs will come forth. And of course, the lilacs and all of the other beautiful spring time beauty will be here again. And yet, there's still this unique beauty for this time, this season, because we get to see the shrubs and the layering of the different plantings in the front bed that during the summertime was overtaken by all of the beautiful cosmos and zinnias and all of the other flowering plants. But now we get to see the structure of my urban cottage garden. I woke up this morning to this scene through my kitchen window. the first real snow for the season. Today is December 3rd, and this is what I see. Happy winter. It's begun. Everything looks so fresh and different and new. It is here. I'm amazed at how quickly things change in the garden. Yesterday, it wasn't snowing. You could see everything. It was just a whole different atmosphere. And today, it's like a winter wonderland. There's just snow covering everything. And everything is so fresh. And the air is crisp. And everything that was once exposed is now covered up. It's almost like a blanket on the garden. And you know how I wanted to decorate and add and clean up? Well, no more. That's that. Remember when I said I wanted to decorate these two arborvitae trees? Well, now I don't have to decorate them. Mother Nature has done it for me. And don't they look so beautiful here in the garden? They offer structure. And design. I love how the snow just rests on the evergreen trees. And look at this. It is so beautiful. The contrasting of the deep green and the pure white of the snow. There's still some leaves left on these mighty oak trees, but the weight of the snow, I'm sure, will pull some more down. And soon the trees will be bare, totally bare. But with the snow, you can also see the structure of the trees and the limbs. Beautiful. The next day, I was looking at the side garden here, and you can see how the weight of the snow was weighing down the grasses and just changed the texture and the look of this front garden, my urban cottage garden. But it's so cute. I really do like how the snow is resting on top of the bee balm. And just the brown flowers from the hydrangea tree are just laden with snow. Pretty. Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden. Well, I'm outside enjoying the snow. It is a little chilly, but it's beautiful outside. Just wanted to show you what's happening to my garden and what has happened to me. Look at that, I'm all bundled up. But I hope all is well with you. Happy December, and may you be blessed. Every year has its different showings of beautiful flowers, and it is different. Every year is like a brand new beginning. So 2019 had its ups and its downs, but I also enjoyed every single flower in bloom. I enjoyed my deck and loved sitting in the sun. And the nasturtiums, they were so beautiful, something new, something different, as well as my apple and fruit trees. It was so nice to sample and taste them, and my plums, bringing back memories of the past. Cantaloupes, yes, I actually were able to harvest these cantaloupes. And then, of course, my angel trumpet tree with the Brussels sprouts and cabbage. I enjoyed all of this year. I wish you a really blessed year. I hope that all goes well with you, that everything that you've planned and dreamed, that it will come true for you, and that you will be extremely blessed and happy. Hallelujah. That you'll be happy in your garden. And as we share times together and enjoy one another for 2020. See you around in the garden, Catherine's Garden. Bye.